It's February the 11th, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I was just thinking to myself, it's 56 degrees, we've had mostly cool weather, so there's no snakes are going to be out. Dadgum if there ain't a water snake, but those water snakes, look at that guy, he's moving too. Those water snakes tend to, I can't even believe it though. We had one day they got up to 60. The days are getting a little bit longer when if they can get to where the sun's shining on them, they got that dark skin, and it keeps them, you know, they can pick up some heat from that dark skin, but it really hasn't been warm for the ground to get any much warmth to it. How about that? Hey, daggone water snake. I was just thinking to myself, because this place is really snaky back here, and in the springtime I don't even like to come back here because there's so many of every cottonmouth, rattlesnakes. Water snakes are not poisonous, but those water snakes, they tend to be I guess the water temperatures, you know, I mean, the water temperature can't be too warm, but I guess I don't know, it's 56 degrees right now, so it ain't exactly snake weather. But he not only was he out, but he was actually moving along pretty good there. Usually, you know, if it's chilly at all, they're pretty docile. They don't move much. They'll just sit there. But you know, he saw him and he moved on. I was just really surprised by that. So, but yeah, they can get some sunlight on them, and it's a cloudy day, but their skin can pick up, you know, heat from just the sun shining on them. But it's always those water snakes. Those water snakes come out surprising. They come out earliest in the spring too. You'll see them all over the place, just up here along the bank. Then once it heats up, they stay in the water for the most part. You don't see them up on the land much at all. But but yeah, we had a little streak of a few days of freezing weather too, which I would have thought. I mean, that's been a while back. That's back in January, but I would have thought that would have pretty much put anything that had stayed out into hibernation. But the tide's really high too, so you know, it might be part of the thing with the water snakes is that they, you know, maybe they, wherever they're holed up at, they might, when the tide gets up or we get some rain, and that rain, so warmer rain trickling down through the ground, maybe that drives them up out of their dens or whatever you call it. Man, that is just shocking to me to see that snake today. Just as I was thinking, I don't have to worry about seeing any snakes. But fortunately, I'd be really surprised to see anything other than a water snake. Those cottonmouths and even more so those rattlesnakes, they tend to, they pop all out at one time when it gets warm. And with the first streak of, you know, like upper 60s, low 70s in the springtime. You get a few days of that, and then they all come out from around here, and I just don't even want to be around because there's so many of them. They're so active. But I was not expecting to see any kind of. We got a little duck down here. Huh. He's sleeping. Now it could be a duck. This looks like a duck that's sleeping. You know, there's a lot of hunting going on right now, and you can always, it's possible that the duck, you know, gets shot and kind of winds up. They're very hardy animals, and they can get shot and not die, you know, but you know, kind of go dormant, like maybe good, but I kind of just think that duck is just sleeping up here on the bank. Can't say for sure, but female. I'm not gonna. No, it blinked his eye. So that doesn't mean that. I don't know about that duck. I'm not gonna mess with it one way or the other. If it is a duck that got wounded, then there's plenty of things around here. It's not that duck is not dead. There's, it'll just the nature of nature is. There's plenty of things. A raccoon or something will fox, will eat it if that's the case, and if it's sleeping, then it'll wake up, go back into the water. So. Usually really can't sneak up on a duck like that, but they do sleep. A lot of times they sleep in the water. They tuck their head in like that underneath their wing. And with me being up above it and it thinking it's camouflaged. Interesting to see a snake, interesting to see a duck up on the bank like that, but well, Super Bowl Sunday. The Chiefs are playing the 49ers in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got Brock Purdy, the quarterback. I guess it's his second year. I think last year was his rookie year. He's a very interesting quarterback. He's a very smart quarterback. He doesn't quite have all the athleticism of some of the other ones, but he's very, very fast at making decisions. Very calm on the field, which when you get to the pro level, that trumps a lot of other abilities. Just being able to throw the ball a long ways or whatever. It doesn't. Once everybody's so good at the pros, and those physical abilities tend to all balance out, But the best quarterbacks in the pros usually have been the ones that also are the sharpest and the quickest at making decisions. They gotta have a good physical ability too, but the difference is usually between the ears. So that should be fun to watch. And Friday was my birthday. Ooh. Birthdays are, it's just a good time to be appreciative of life and to think about being appreciative of life. A lot of emotions can go on a birthday, and I guess partly that's because we make it a point to remember them and to celebrate them. So you tend to have, a lot of different kind of things going on. And but I think ultimately, the important thing is you gotta just remember how much of a miracle it is to be able to experience life. It's just a unique thing that's so improbable, but yet it happens. To be just so. I hear something back there. See these natures and get excited just by something like that. So another, I don't know what it is, but there's something back there. Might be a deer. I don't know. A bird. But it's just life. Why do we get excited? There's something about life. Birds chirping. A snake I saw. Like, it's something about this interaction of everything here on this planet. that's so special. We can do all kinds of amazing and expensive things, or unique things, but just think, all it takes is a little effort to come back here and walk down this path here in nature, and there's just something exciting about the idea that there's something back there, some other living creature. I hear it. That might have been something else scurrying around back here, but just to try and see it and get a glimpse of that, that's enjoyment. That's excitement. Oh, look at that hawk. That might have been what I was hearing. The hawk, or maybe the hawk was hunting what I heard. It could have been either I heard the hawk, or the hawk might have been, there might have been something back there that the hawk was interested in. Maybe the hawk and I were both trying to look at the same thing for different reasons. The hawk was hoping that would be lunch. But those hawks, they probably like those water snakes. They'd probably make a good snack for a hawk like that. You got to go look for that water snake, hawk. It'd be a lunch for you. Anyways, the easy meal. Get a hold of that thing. Well, hawks are predators. They hunt. Predator and the prey. The prey is the thing that's being hunted. The prey. That's going to be the nourishment and food for the predator, and it's all a balance. And, everything's in balance. The predators, when the prey become too prevalent, so to speak, well, that means that they could be, it's not necessarily good for the prey, because they're all competing for the same resources, and then the things that are like disease and stuff like that make home there, because there's so many of that same kind that now things like disease and stuff like that start to become pervasive, and then but then the predators, that means there's a good food source for the predators. So now the predators have a lot to eat, and then they hunt on that prey, and then that causes the population of the prey, especially things like when we're talking about like like the birds and mammal predators. They're a lot of times they're hunting on like smaller mammals or reptiles and things like that. So they put pressure on that food source, which then helps to balance that food source and get that food source back down to a level where it's sustainable, and then that's actually good for the population of the prey, so they don't get out of whack, and they're not competing for all the same resources, and it's all a nice, it's called an ecosystem. It's more complicated than that, but it's the same thing with the plants and everything. And so yeah, it's pretty neat. But yeah, there was a hawk back there. There's a hawk, a duck, a snake. It's been an interesting walk. I love you. Enjoy all of these moments. Oh, there's a beautiful little bird. I don't know what kind of bird it is. Got some colors under the wing. All right. Love you.